G'day everyone, I'm the Red Scar and this is Red Scar Gaming. Today we'll be having a bit of fun with a deck that I call Citadel Death. It is historic for all intents and purposes. It's not meant to be particularly competitive, though it certainly has its moments. Though about turn 7, 8, 9, something like that. It's certainly not a competitive deck, but I'm sure I could make a few changes and it might actually be alright. But I'll work on that one day maybe if I feel like it. My opponent is Lock and Load 65. That's a pretty cool name actually. I like that one. Actually would make a good like a rap band or something like that. Anyway, yeah, that's a keeper. I'm sure I could have a better hand, but that's alright. Basically, the function of this deck is, the win condition is Bolus' Citadel. I need a lot of creatures out, I sack as many of them and then do 50 damage to my opponent, is the long story short. Hopefully you'll get to see that a few times. Looks like my opponent's playing an Izzet of some description. I like those card backs, by the way. What is it, Koth? Yeah, you have to accept my apology. I forget what all the characters' names are. So, Spirited Companion. Let me draw a card. For my first 5, 6 turns, maybe, it's basically just play a creature, draw a card, something along those lines. Until I get Bolus' Citadel. Then I can have, ideally that turn, but it's usually the turn afterwards, I get to do tons of stuff. And yeah, once again, it's a bit of fun. It's not really competitive, but we'll see how we go. Anticipate. I'm sure someone will be able to tell me why, but I'm a little surprised that Anticipate doesn't see a bit more competitive play. And there's Bolus' Citadel, so now I just need lands, basically. And I may as well attack with the dog. Actually, it only just occurred to me, I've actually got quite a few dogs. And, well, I know that's a fox, but it's a canine, you know what I mean. Oh, excuse me, morning coffee's attacking me a little bit. She is playing Izzet something. Oh, Fine Mind's Research. I did get a bit of play out of that in when it was competitive level in Standard, so that was rather interesting. Solemn Simulacrum. That'll get me one more land. I actually don't have many basic lands, so I'm thinking I should maybe get rid of Solemn Simulacrum. Just because there's a few times that I've played it and I just simply don't have a target for it, so we'll see how we go. But his whole death trigger, drawing a card, is sometimes useful, so, but yeah, once again, not thinking too competitively with this deck. It's a bit of fun and works occasionally. And I actually just noticed that I need to draw swamps, don't I? I shouldn't have bothered getting that plains. Anyway, that's alright. I still have Cruel Celebrants that I'll be playing shortly. The ever so slight advantage of this deck is that I can, most of the creatures in this deck are either have some sort of advantage when they enter the battlefield, usually draw, though Filigree Familiar is a exception to that rule, or when they die, but I do get to draw with Filigree Familiar when it dies, and my alternate win conditions are ultimately Cruel Celebrants and similar cards. Yeah, I do need another source of black, well, another 2 sources of black would be ideal, but my Nightmare Shepherds Yeah, I'll play a Nightmare Shepherd if I get another swamp shortly. And my opponent's figuring out if he wants to destroy target board. I hope he's not AFK, because it doesn't make a very good YouTube video, and if that's the case, I'm simply warming up for the morning. Which, hey, I need warm up occasionally. No, he is still there. Just thinking about it, anticipating the next move. Yeah, okay. Maybe someone can answer me this question that I said about anticipate just before. There's, I can't remember the name of the card just off the top of my head, but it's blue, red, and 1. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 in your hand, 1 on the top of your library. Sorry, 1 on the bottom of the library, 1 in exile, and you may play it this turn. Yes, that is a better card. For all intents and purposes of being more powerful. But anticipate could maybe be a better card. I'm not sure, but if someone wants to explain that to me as to why anticipate doesn't see as much competitive play, or maybe I'm just not highly ranked enough that I don't see it. But anyway, I think I've basically won this game, because if my opponent even destroys 1 creature, I've pretty much do lethal to him. And that Chandra the M21 Chandra that I haven't seen for a very long time. There's another one of my fun death triggers there, because Elendra, ideally, I play her about 4 or 5 or something like that. Use all these things as chump blockers and get lots of extra chump blockers out of this. I think I've won this particular game though. Yeah. Okay. That was... I didn't get to play Bolas's Citadel, but that's alright. The sideboard is not particularly good, but that's alright. Seeing as my opponent seems to be playing, I'm guessing my opponent is playing some sort of combo something, because otherwise they may have played a creature or done some damage or something like that. So I'm going to drop the 2 simulacrums and get, I'm thinking a Mortifier of Fracture or something like that. Yeah, one of each. Partly just to sort of, partly to stop my opponent, and partly to make the game go a little bit longer, just so I can sort of see what they do and maybe get to play Bolas's Citadel. Yeah, it is a Funzies match, so and yeah, forgive me if I've mentioned this in a video before, but I really do wish that more people had a bit more fun with the fun match rather than just like I've seen a lot of decks played that are competitive decks. There's no 2 ways about it. If you really want to win, just like I'll forfeit. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm here for some fun. That might just be an old man complaining, so please tolerate me. But anyway, but yeah, there is still plenty of people that just play for funsies in this format. There's another one of my death trigger sort of things. Elas Ilkor. Ilkor. Anyway, yeah, I didn't go to high school with her, so I can't remember her name. Hell, I can't remember the name of most of the people I went to high school with anyway. yeah, he's definitely playing some sort of combo that he needs to search for or something like that. I hope he's having fun doing it, because he didn't really do much last game. Yeah, okay. I still get his triggered abilities, so that's alright. I suppose next turn I'll play a companion, spirited companion, rather than one of the familiars, because I don't have a plains. I don't care that enters tapped under those circumstances. Yeah, I won't bother with familiar because I don't really need life just at the moment. I more need the draw, plus I get life from Sadistic Pilgrim anyway. Ooh, play with fire, okay. So yeah, that's the first time my opponent has actually done something against me. Ah, there's a creature. Okay, he does actually have creatures. Conjure 4 cards and then lightning bolt. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any. What are they? Swampsville Plains? Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of the different one. Ignore me. But stay subscribed. Let's go. Spirited Companion. Get myself a draw. And Cruel Celebrant, just to hopefully keep me alive for a little bit longer. I do hope I get to play Bolas's Citadel at some stage, because I know there can be a lot of fun that my opponent goes, oh, I'm on 20 life, I don't really care what happens next, but yeah, then I just tap that and do 40 damage to them. It's lots of fun. But it looks like this particular match, I'll just be blocking and staying alive. Okay, I will play that as a land. And yeah, look, I might as well play Cruel Celebrant, I suppose. Nothing particularly optimum. I won't be surprised if my opponent actually does like a lightning bolt or something against one of my creatures there. In fact, do I actually want to play another Sadistic Pilgrim? Yeah, just for the lols. Let's do it. I lose a life, but that's alright. I also gain one. So yeah, I'll keep that one. Get some triggers there. That is one thing, and just a general advice for gaming in general, or Magic in general. You do still get the triggers from playing a legendary creature for that brief instant. You do have 2 creatures on the board, one dies, one enters, that sort of thing. So yeah, you can keep that stuff in mind. So I will not block that. I sort of want those 2 on the board. I'm guessing that Lock and Load is essentially playing get as many lightning bolts as possible and then destroy your opponent for the cost of 18 mana. I'll play Revitalize. The likes of Revitalize and Ritual of Rejuvenation are actually pretty damn good in this deck, because with Bolas's Citadel out, I pay, in this case, 3 life to gain 4 life and draw a card. So I get to cycle through my deck pretty quickly. Yeah, sure. I think I'm winning this game so far, but he's... I know he's got, I think it's 8 lightning bolts in his deck now. 8 or 12 maybe. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when he starts playing them. Okay, let's play Elandra. Partly to see what my opponent does if he starts lightning bolting and all that sort of fun stuff. Yeah, may as well attack. Doesn't look like I'm going to play Bolas's Citadel this game. Though I can next turn if I draw one. There's only 2 in the main board, 1 in the sideboard. And yeah, once again, it is just a Funzies deck, but I do try and win, just for the, I mean, like, just even though the combo is pretty hard to achieve. And one thing that Funzies are pretty good for is that you can test new ideas and then go, oh yeah, look, it's absolutely terrible, but I'll try this instead, or I'll there's one of the bolts, so I get a few triggers there. Yeah, test this idea, see if it works. Oh no, it didn't work. Okay, that's alright. I'll try something else. Yeah, I think I've got this guy. I don't really need any more lands. Though if I get Bolas's Citadel, I start getting lots and lots of triggers. How much mana have I got? 4. I'd like 5. I'll play the Spirited Companion, and hopefully I get something worth playing out of that. Another Spirited Companion, that's fine by me. And yeah, Fractures, in hindsight, the Fracture at least, is not going to be particularly useful. But that's all right. So how many? Yeah. So it would be very interesting to see how Lock and Load's deck goes against a light mill. I'm thinking just off the top of my head something like was it Pirates that milled sort of 2 or 3 at once. Okay, play with fire. He can do that. I'll play another Elandra next. And I can use Fracture now, actually. I think my opponent is either going to attack and basically say thanks for the game, or sit there and wait for it. That's all right. I could play Bolas's Citadel right now. I'm thinking, do I want to just for the meme? Yeah, look, I'll try it, see if it works. And I can play Godless Shrine. I may as well pay 2 life because I can cast Fracture then. Yeah, cast Fracture, get rid of that. And so yeah, pay 1 life for Rebirth on the Celebrant, just because it seems like a good idea at the time. There's another land there, can't do anything, so let's go... look, I'll just attack with the Celebrant. I don't really want any of my guys to die at the moment, and Celebrant's sort of the only one that can do it with that Malakir Rebirth. So yeah, get triggers of all various kinds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've won this particular game, but There's a little part of me that hopes that he proves me wrong. Just so I can show off with this whole Citadel thing. Yeah, you do have to be, well, you and me, have to be a little bit careful though when playing for funsies, just showing off, because either your opponent's sitting there going, oh, but I'm trying to test this deck and I wish you'd stop being full of yourself, which I can fully understand, and like in hindsight I could have won last turn, but yeah, I'm not showing off at this particular point yet. So yeah, this is how Citadel works. I summon basically everything, lose lots of creatures and such, while gaining life drawing cards. There's another Citadel, I don't need two. I will play Ritual of Rejuvenation. Get as many tokens as possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's basically as soon as I get 10 creatures on the board, I will use its ability. 8, 9, 10, and then sack the Citadel. Sorry, activate the Citadel. Yeah, this is not the absolute best demonstration point for this deck, but something like this definitely wins me the game, because I get 14, 15, yeah, anyway. So yeah, everyone can see where that goes. My opponent loses, off the top of my head, loses 20 life, I gain 20 life, and I get all those creatures back via the demons. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that gives someone an idea and inspires you to have a bit more fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time.